comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So, just got back from trick or treating and pretty interesting experience. So, we got invited to basically, it was just a house where everyone sort of launched off to go trick or treating. So, in this area, what they were saying is there's like some hot spots. So this was one of the hot spots. Every street, just about every single house was fucking like incredible. Like, I mean the decorations, but I also mean the houses were fucking mega mansion, 1880s Victorian, just fucking unbelievable houses. Like old money, old fucking Constitution was written money. Old we fought the fucking English here money. You know what I mean? But apparently it's been turning over a bit because what happens is there's these giant fucking houses. They're like 10, 12 bedroom, just beautiful fucking houses. I can't fucking describe how great these houses are. And people back in the day had big families, and then the families fucking move out, move overseas, move interstate, fucking who knows. And then it's just two people living in the giant house, and they're like, what a waste of a house. So they end up selling. Then some new money moves in, but there's still plenty of fucking old money there. And it was fucking amazing. But fucking, there's something eerie. There's something that doesn't sit right with me around wealth. I don't know what it is. It gives me the creeps a little bit. I'm like, what is this? What is this world that everyone's living in here? Everyone was nice as well, more than nice. Everyone was great. Great conversations. Everything was beautiful. I was speaking to a lady who was like the faculty of medicine research at fucking Boston College. Someone else was from Harvard, all this sort of shit. It was great. But in my bones, I just get like a weird feeling. It's not even that I don't belong. I definitely don't belong. Let's fucking make that clear from the start. I definitely don't belong. But it's also, I don't like it and don't want to be amongst that either. It seems to be a little bit of a mental illness or something. There's something really weird about it. And I'm going to say, we had some conversations in one of these 10-story Victorian, I don't know, probably worth about $30 million. I don't know how much properties like that are worth because I've never looked into it. But there was a few conversations about this country's falling apart. And I'm like, what part of this house is falling apart? What part of this neighborhood is falling apart? This is not the part of the country that's falling apart. I can tell you that right now. This is the best shit I've ever seen in my entire life. There was a 15-story mansion, and this was no shit, the fucking Halloween decorations of the house. They had an octopus eyes in the front window, and they had a giant octopus's tentacles, like the tips of the tentacles, lit up and coming out the windows, like 8 different windows of the house. I don't think I've ever lived in a house with 8 windows. But that's what it was, like one on the top story. It's like 4 stories, 5 stories, or whatever the fuck it is. The eyes take up the fucking whole windows of like the 3rd story, and then there's just lit up purple and green tentacles coming out of the windows. So like it's a giant octopus stuck inside the house, bursting out. That's what the decoration was, and that wasn't even the best one. There was probably 10 to 15 places that were more impressively decorated. But it won't sound great to you because I'm just describing, but it was like a fucking horror show at some of these places. And you're like, the detail they've put in. And then I'm like, what exactly is falling apart? I'm like, if it's looking bad from fucking here, I wouldn't go around the corner. I wouldn't drive 20 minutes down to fucking West Roxbury or wherever the fuck it is. Jesus Christ. I don't even know how you live in those places. You're so detached from reality and you're surrounded by like ultra high achievers as well. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing being surrounded by fucking complete dirtbags either. That's not a good thing. Also, but just being surrounded by the absolute cream of the crop gives you a very skewed fucking perspective on reality. That's not the world you're living in. That is a bubble. And then the other thing is, I started talking about lead, obviously, and one of the ladies was like, oh, that's basically in most of the joints. She's like, even my house has lead in it. We can't get rid of all the lead. It costs like $80,000 to get rid of the lead. And then they really can't remove all of it. There's still little bits and pieces in there, but it doesn't really affect you. The dust, I looked into it because like I bought my house and I bought my house when my daughter was not even born yet. She was in my belly. So I looked into it and all that sort of stuff. And it's fine. You just don't eat the flaky chips and everything's good. She's like, everyone knows about it. It's like a quiet secret amongst everyone in Boston. The lead, it's there, but it doesn't really cause any issues. And then on the other hand, we're sitting at the table and everyone's talking about how their kids are autistic and retarded. They are, like all of them. They're like, they've got learning fucking disabilities. And I just wanted to be like, do you reckon that has anything to do with the lead? Anyway, it was a proper experience. It was like a fucking movie. It was giant houses, kids dressed up everywhere, the streets packed, walking up big fucking steps, trick-or-treating. My daughter's running up. My son's he disappeared again. I had a good time, and then we went back to this lady's place, and we had some pizza and shit, and she brings out the fucking weed drinks. Like, everyone's drinking a spritzer, and it's like 0.5 or 5 grams of THC or some shit like that. Not 5 grams, it can't be 5 grams, but you know what I mean. Milligrams or something. And then everyone starts drinking that. My wife has one. I bought one home because it's sugar-free as well. But I'm very tentative to drink it. Maybe I'll have a little nudge and see how I feel. Anyway, that was it. Trick-or-treating in the US. Absolutely wild times. Even if I was mega rich, I would never, ever live amongst a community like that. I need to live like in the middle. I need to have some dirt bags and then some non-dirt bags around. Even the place I'm living in, my preference is to have more dirt bags around. I would go further into the thick of it if I was only thinking about myself. If I didn't have a wife and kids, I'd be in the heart of it. But I've got to think about family as well. Anyway, that'll do for tonight. This is like the third podcast in 24 hours. So I released this. I was trying to work it out in the car. I released this and it comes out now, which would make it early morning-ish Saturday. And it will come out Saturday in the US, Saturday morning. Well, it'll come out soon. And then we're back on track. But it's going to be a little bit weird because I'll be doing Friday's podcast on Thursday night. Anyway, that's the way we're going to play it. That'll do for tonight. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see ya the fuck later.